Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about the Joe Budden podcast, and we're going to be talking about following your dreams and the pressure that minority parents put on their children to do well, but at the same time, how that can also damage our future in a couple of various ways. They could be big, they could be small, but if you guys like content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. If you guys subscribe to the channel, we are doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. So if you guys want to get involved in that, you guys have to comment on videos and like videos, and you have to be subscribed, obviously. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys like the content. Let me know down below.
Because she didn't understand the concept. And this is what a lot of minority parents do, right? We feel because the world has told us that we're not able to accomplish certain shit, that we should conform. Made in Manhattan, and Jennifer Lopez's mother was like, yo, who are you to be the manager? You can't be the manager. That's not up to you. It got to be a white manager. Parents feel that way.
Yep. And even if it's not necessarily the white manager, they feel like, oh, well, the chances of you becoming manager are so low that you should just be content with being there. That kind of stuff. Because in their minds, as long as you're here in like America, as long as you're here in this area, as long as you're working, you're doing better than if you're not. Whatever it is. Bro, the stuff they saying is so true, because me personally, the first person in my family to graduate from college, don't come from the greatest area. My parents don't come from this place. So when they see the things I want to do or the things I want to try, I don't think they necessarily understand, but that doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me at all. I know what I want to try to do. I know what I want to achieve. I know what I'm content with. I know what I'm not at this point. I know that I'm always going to be working for whatever I have to do. I'm never just going to stop. I'm always going to have some kind of plan to make sure I'm able to push forward, push ahead. That's just how I've been my entire life. So when your parents don't support you in those kinds of things and your endeavors because they want you to do something different because it's safer or easier, that isn't necessarily helpful. That cannot be helpful if someone is dead set on creating their own path. If you're dead set on creating your own path, then you're doing a good job at it, meaning you're able to survive, you're able to supply for yourself, you're doing well during a rough time. I think people should back off, calm down, and see what you're going to do. Your parents should help you with your endeavors, and they should help you follow those dreams. I think that's important. I think your parents should push you towards your dreams, and if they don't, screw it. You don't need that. You don't need that energy. And if your parents come from a darker place or a harder place, okay, understand what they're saying, say okay, and just continue pushing to do what you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, you are you. They can't control you. Your body does what your body wants to do.
Real thing in a lot of minority households, dog, that we only can reach this.
From watching my friend.
You're Hispanic,
constantly,
right?
Constantly.
I don't know your family, never met nobody in your family. I'm speaking, right? Yeah, like you might not have experienced it, but you know, in a Hispanic household, like we have a ceiling that we can reach, right? And anything or any thoughts of going above that
is a farce. When they look at you and you have these dreams to achieve something that you've never seen anyone else achieve, they look at you like you're a joke. They laugh at you, especially if you're from the hood. You get taunted a little bit more. If you come from a place that doesn't have that much money, it just happens more because everyone's looking at you like, why you? Why you? Why are you gonna make it out? Oh, we don't know anyone else like that. It just doesn't seem possible, that kind of stuff. So if you guys have something that you guys are going to push for, make sure you guys always have a way to provide for yourself. But if you guys have a way to provide for yourself, why can't you use the extra time to create or nurture whatever kind of goals that you want to achieve? That's how I feel about it. I feel like all the time people, they just get into doing the same thing every single day, day in and day out, and they're just okay with that. The same exact things every day, day in and day out, getting paid the same amount year after year after year, or 20-cent raise, $1 raise even, isn't that much in totality of how much money you actually receive at the end of the year. So it's rough. It's rough out here, man. It's rough out here because it takes a lot of money to be comfy. To be comfortable, it takes a lot of money.
I took both, right? So I took both. I went to the regular job because they were paying me $32,000 a year. That's what I made, right? 32 grand, I took that job because I had immediate bills to pay. And then I took the other job where I was getting the training and all that shit at nighttime. I was getting the training, the in-book training, studying for the Series 7, all of that shit at night. And then I was going to transfer to the full-time American Express job.
Right. And you guys would be shocked because he's talking about New York. If you were in Ohio, I guarantee you there's a ton of people making less than $30,000. In all reality, a lot less than $30,000. It's completely different here.
Ish kicked in, and I said, man, fuck American Express. I'm going to go do this, and this, plus the job. And I always had the entrepreneur. It was in me. I was 22 years old, maybe 23 years old. But those classes set me on that path too, right? Because you looking at rich motherfuckers that was 28 that played golf from 11 o'clock, that had a book of business that was crazy. So that piqued my interest in the stock market and finance and all that other shit.
See, I'm a lot like him in my mentality of what interests me and what I'm seeing other people achieve. Why can't I achieve it? Especially when I see some of the people that have done it. So that's why I started trying to figure out my own endeavors, figured out wholesaling, or guys, if you are working minimum wage wherever you're at, you can probably get paid more doing DoorDash. In all reality, if you work hard, if you have a reliable vehicle, if you don't have a reliable vehicle, why don't you rent a vehicle? Or not rent a vehicle, why don't you try to purchase a vehicle for like $150 a month, $200 a month, something that's a 2013 Beater or something, 30,000 miles on, get a Toyota Corolla. You could rent that out. If you can't rent that out, you can always drive it or DoorDash or whatever it may be. But there's a lot of different ways that you can try to figure out how to make money or how to spend less. I think it's important because when you are trying to figure out what you want to do, like as far as a business, or if you are creating a business, if you're in the early stages of your business, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take dedication. And you're going to see times when you don't have that much money and you're going to be like, I don't know what I should do here. Should I continue? Should I push? Should I just give up because I'm not going to make it? Those times are going to happen. There's gonna be times when you don't have very much, and if you give up, you're never gonna get to your goals. So it's like there comes a time when you have to accept less for a certain amount of time in order to achieve more later. So live frugal now so you can live the extravagant life you want later.
My mom told me to take the 9-to-5 job. Didn't try to finesse me into thinking bigger, dreaming bigger.
Same.
Right? My mother was an in-the-box thinker, right, to Joe's point. My mother thought in the box, get that 9-to-5 safe job, right, and don't ask too many questions. Keep your head down and work and get a pension. Right. People teach their kids that.
I was just getting ready to say that, like, that's kind of what happened in my household. From as early as and I was always a straight A student. It was, as soon as you graduate, you gotta go to college. Like, there was no alternative. There was no even thinking outside of the box. Your life to them is laid out.
That's how it was with me too, because with my parents, it was more so like, it was just like this, but it was like, oh, if you don't go to college, you have no opportunity to earn money. So I never thought about businesses or anything like that until I was in my 20s, early 20s. But I was in my 20s because I was looking around. I'm like, wait, well, all these people aren't educated. So how the hell do they get these positions? Oh, you don't need any kind of degree to own a business. So you can own Tesla and you don't necessarily need a degree. Yeah, you can own, theoretically, you can get to a position where you own a company even like that and you don't have a degree. So it's the world, the more you look at the world and the way businesses are structured in the US and other countries, it's all a game of finesse. Everyone's finessing everyone all over the place. The way prices are created, they're just created out of thin air most of the time, or they're based off of something. If there's a calculation, it's based off of how much profit whoever the business is, whatever it is, whatever company it is. It doesn't need to be in retail, it doesn't need to be in grocery, food, it doesn't need to be in anything specific. There's always this aspect to it in a capitalist society, because power of the dollar is quite fucking powerful here, and a lot of other countries. In all honesty, money is important. When people try to say it isn't important, that's just ridiculous. They've never been poor if they said money was important or wasn't important. The rich people that do live extremely frugal, it doesn't mean that they need a ton of money, but money is still important. You still need that safe haven to pay for this or pay for that. They may live frugally, but I guarantee you whatever their overhead is for their business, that does cost a lot. So it is what it is, guys.
You got to hit this check mark, then this check mark, then this check mark, then this check mark, and then you retire. That was it. Go to college immediately afterwards.
And pensions don't even exist anymore for us.
Like, there actually was my little brother. He was like, yo, I don't want to go to college because I don't know what I want to go for.
Yep.
Great.
I told him, I said,
point.
yo, there's nothing wrong with that. He's like, yeah, but Pops gotta be saying, Pops is saying this, and this person's saying this, and this, everybody's telling me I need to do this. I said, dog, it's your life. If you don't know what you want to do, figure it out first.
I think it's unfair too.
Literally, when I graduated, I even talked about this with my friends. I'm like, when you're 17, 18, and you're just thrown into college, and they're like, oh, well, choose what you want to do for the rest of your life. You haven't lived. You haven't lived as an adult. So how do you know what you want to do? Especially if you come from a place that is underprivileged. If the place is underprivileged and they don't have access to all these careers, you've never seen these things that you say you want to be. So you don't know what it really is like. You don't know what the process is like to get there. And it's a hindrance, man. It's such a freaking hindrance. It's a hindrance to people everywhere, not just people that are underprivileged. It's a hindrance to everyone who's going through the school system and saying, oh, you have to decide what you want to do in life by the time you're 17, 18. That's silly. That's silliness to me.
To pick what you want to do for the rest of your life, I think that's so unfair that the world puts on us.
Yeah. You don't really need to figure out what you're doing in college for 2 years.
Graduated high school on June 18th, right? I started college July 1st.
Wow.
Literally.
EOF.
He's just asking about how it was funded. But guys, like for example, me, I didn't go to the best high school. I went to one of the worst testing high schools in Ohio. To be honest, it might have been the worst testing high school, but it's far up there. So I went to Ohio State, and it's just a different world. And when you get around these people and you say you want to do a career path that you have no experience in, you realize that after a couple years, and even 2 years after, that's not enough to really truly know what you want to do. And to put $20,000, $40,000 a year towards. That's why when I graduated from college, I was like, do I really want to go to med school? I have to take all these tests still, and I have to pay $50,000 a year for something I'm not even sure I want to do for another 8 years. So I'm going to be so much more in the hole. I was like, this isn't worth it right now. If I want to do this, I'll decide to do this later. But not now. Not now. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down below. I think following your dreams is extremely important. I think the pressure that families put on us, especially for minority families, Black and Spanish, and it could be any Black, Spanish, Indian, Asian, the stress is hard. The stress is hard, and it's a lot to deal with, especially for those of us that are the second generation, first generation, or sometimes even third generation, depending on how the family structure is. So let me know what you guys think down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I'll catch you guys tomorrow.